Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Harshan Podcast. Graciela has a cough. I don't know what's going on there. But thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about a couple things that just happened this last couple weeks.
This is our health episode.
It is, technically, because this is our first episode coming back, technically, from...
Post-COVID.
Yeah, we actually... both got COVID.
Yeah, we tested positive at the end of May.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up getting COVID, and I think it started with me, and then I passed it on to you. But luckily, the kids didn't get it, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I would think that by now. Okay, so you started showing symptoms on the 27th. We're like, on the 27th. And that night, I slept with you in the room. And then the next morning, I tried to separate myself. Yeah. Just to be safe, because I was like, okay, well, we don't know right now, but let's kind of separate ourselves. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing during that time, it was already there. It was already contracted. So... What was it when you started showing symptoms? Was on a Thursday?
Thursday night, so right before going to sleep.
So Friday morning, you called out of work. Yeah. Because you were feeling sick and you went to go get tested that afternoon.
Yep. I actually had the fever. I called out, got the test right there that day, the same day. And then the
doctor's consultation and then over the phone and then you went to go get tested.
Yeah, and then I got the results Saturday night. And then Sunday morning you went, got tested, got your results Monday night.
I wasn't having any symptoms then.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
So I went to go get the test before I started experiencing symptoms, only because like for work related reasons, it was best that I guess I get tested and kind of confirm or whatever, confirm that I did or didn't have it. Yeah. So then I went and I got my results Monday night and it also came back positive. But I had already started experiencing symptoms Sunday night right after getting my test done. I was terrified. I thought they were still doing like sticking the swab all the way down into your brain, like touching your brains and stuff. And I was so scared, and then they didn't do it like that. But you're all the way better, but it is June 15th now. Yeah. And my isolation period ended on the 9th. That was my last day. I went back to work on the 10th. But I don't know if this is allergies or it just takes a little while longer to like go away sometimes. Like I don't think I'm contagious because we've been around the kids, and like I said, since they tested positive, they have not shown any symptoms. Like
they tested positive?
It's negative. My bad. So since they tested negative, they have not shown. For the whole time that we were sick, they never showed any symptoms. So
because that was our main concern. Like, well, fuck it, we got it. Isolate. My mom was taking care of the kids, but we still had to kind of, we had to get tested. We had to.
Yeah, we had to get them tested just to be safe. In a way, I think I got on your nerves because I said that it's like we were already around each other. Like, how could it not be possible that they have it? Mm-hmm. Like, to me, I'm like, I literally thought it was a for sure thing that they were going to come back positive. Yeah. Because I was sleeping with them during those days that you...
Isolated myself?
You were isolated. One of the nights, we slept across from each other, and then the other night, she kind of came next to me, and then she just took over the whole... Like, we were in her twin bed. I was sleeping with her. Yeah. She took over the whole bed, so I just went to the living room. Yeah. And then Sunday, I started wearing a mask around the house just to be safe.
Yeah. So basically, the breakdown is Thursday night I got sick. Oh, I started getting a fever, which is like close to going to sleep. Friday morning I woke up because I had a fever. So Friday morning I called out and instantly you isolated from me. But I mean, it was kind of like a 6 to 7 hour where we were both sleeping in the same bed. So, it's obvious that you were going to get contagious. Luckily for us,
we hugged,
not during, the time
the
I was
next
sick.
morning.
Well,
the
yeah,
next
well, that's what
morning
I'm saying.
I remember
Yeah.
asking you, like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, this close to you. And I'm just like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
And I'm just like giving you kisses.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and I'm like, I was, I don't know. I guess I was hopeful that it was just like a cold or something.
yeah, but I mean, in a sense, I kind of knew that it was that. I mean,
It felt different.
no, not at all. It's just I don't get sick very often, and right now the only thing that's going around is not the flu. It's, just COVID. So I had a feeling it was going to be that.
It's not just COVID.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I mean, no, don't sound so insensitive.
What do you mean? No. What I'm saying, just the virus is going around right now, not other.
Like this
flu.
is the only thing that's happening right now. So like,
no, not minimizing COVID. Yeah, no. You're getting it twisted. It's so negative, man. Gosh.
Stop.
After I got tested positive, that's when you started like wearing a mask.
Once you got your
and then it's like, okay, let me get tested, and I can start either isolating myself a lot more from you, or just might as well quarantine with you inside the rooms to stay away from the kids. And you did, and we isolated right away. So in a sense, I feel like we took things pretty fast. It
all happened really quickly.
It did, but we also took measures. Like we weren't like, oh well, I mean, it's gonna be all right. So let's keep doing our daily routines. Like no, we isolated right away. And
you isolated yourself right away.
Yeah, but I also that's like the reason I feel like the kids didn't get it. And luckily
you
for
weren't
us,
like being careless about it and like walking around and stuff.
Yeah,
you literally, I think for the first 2 days, you probably did not even come out of the room.
I couldn't. The first 2 days and a half, 2 days consistently, and then a half day was
chills.
Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't bad. COVID didn't hit me hard like other people. Fortunately for me, unfortunately for other people, I had fever, chills, the whole day on Friday, the whole day on Saturday, and half the day through Sunday. And the annoying part was that they kept coming and going, and that was annoying to me. The fevers weren't high.
Because I would go in there to bring you food or whatever, and I'd be like, how are you feeling? You'd be like, oh, I'm feeling good right now. And then like 2 hours later or whatever, I'd go back in there, you were knocked out.
Yeah.
And then I could tell that it was coming back. And then you would wake up and I'd be like, so are you okay? Like, yeah, I came back and I just fell asleep. Like, that's what you were doing. It was like falling asleep every time you were getting the fever, waking up and like feeling good. Like, oh, I'm better. And then getting the chills again. And then I would see you like covering up and like
I think that was the only hard thing with me. It was like the annoyance. It was very annoying that the chills were definitely one of them, because in a way I could kind of take a fever, especially since it was kind of like it wasn't a high fever. It was like a pretty low. At least I felt it was like a low fever. We didn't even check the
temperature. So
not until you
at that point we didn't have a thermometer, and then I had gone to the store and prepared myself right after I went to go get tested, just to make sure that like if I came back positive, like am I experiencing like I guess in my head I was like, I'm feeling kind of warm, but taking the temperature, I didn't have anything.
Yeah. So I think that was the annoying part, like getting those chills on and off chills. I can't take chills, but I mean after Sunday, I think Sunday half day I was feeling it. And after that, I was just kind of like, just in a sense, just, getting re-energized, recomposing myself, my body at least. I think after Sunday, you can say Monday, the rest of my quarantine, it was just me resting, just me chilling around. And then once I the fever and the chill started going away, then I started going out, to the backyard to get some fresh air because, I definitely need a fresh air. I couldn't be stuck in there, and I definitely needed to walk or get up because like the first 2-3 days I was just laying down, and once after that, then I just started walking around, trying to get some movement in my body, try to get some like, some type of exercise and, for my blood oxygen, my blood oxygen. I needed like, to make sure that I didn't like spike up. So yeah, little stuff like that.
To stay mobile.
Yeah. But luckily for me, it wasn't too bad.
I feel the same way. I feel like for me, it wasn't bad. It's just this lingering like raspy throat and congestion.
But before COVID, you used to get those a lot. You're always doing it.
Yeah, I'm always like that.
Mm-hmm. Before COVID, you were like.
I think you can always hear it in like the podcast.
Probably can. Yeah,
I'm always clearing my throat, so that's like a thing. It's a chronic thing for me.
Yeah, that's just in your head.
And then
Can't blame COVID on that.
No.
Yeah.
And then my congestion. I feel like that's what you can kind of hear, like a little differently.
But it's also allergy season.
It is. So I don't know how to differentiate the symptoms, and like also with the. A little. Also with the COVID symptoms, like some of the like the stomach ache. I had a stomach ache at one point.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to the doctor about it, and she was like, when you're pregnant, you kind of experience like some of the same symptoms, and I'm like, so I don't even know I don't know how to tell this shit apart.
Yeah. That's another thing that was annoying to me, and I think to you, like, kind of graphic, but I had the runs. I had diarrhea, and it was like also on and off. And then like towards my last few days, I felt like constipated. Like I really wanted to go, but I wasn't really going. So also that was another thing that was kind of annoying to me.
I didn't have the diarrhea, but I did feel like I was very gassy towards the end.
Yeah.
I was very gassy.
The last 2-3 days, yeah.
Yeah, and then when I told, like, kind of constipated, and when I told the doctor, she's like, oh, with pregnancy, that's what she was saying, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then COVID's gone, I'm just pregnant now, still.
Yeah. But yeah, so we came out of that. We're back to work. We're fully, back to our normal life. I know within the last couple of days,
it's June 15th, too, so... Starting today, California like officially reopened, and then I was at work today. You had a day off, and there's like there's people that
no mask.
That
well, when we went to Safeway, I saw a few people.
I saw a man who was.
I saw 3 total.
Oh,
which is not that bad actually, considering.
Yeah, I think the majority of people are keeping their masks on.
Yeah,
but it's those few who.
Couldn't wait. Just like
yeah. I mean, I don't blame them. It's annoying to wear the mask, but then at the same time, it's like,
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm gonna keep it as long as I have to, as long as I can.
Even if we already got it.
Yeah. Even after I get my COVID vaccine, which I'm actually trying to get it in the next couple of weeks or so. Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna wear it just to make sure that I'm safe and everybody else around me is safe.
For me, I kind of rather wait on the vaccine.
Oh yeah.
We it's been offered to me. I think even like recently, like a couple days ago, I got another email from Kaiser telling me like set up your vaccine appointment, and it's a good time to set it up. And I'm kind of like, I've talked to the doctor before. It's not like there was a moment where I was like, oh, I'm really considering it. Mm. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's just like, I understand there's so many things out there that, cause and whatever things, whatever. You don't know what you put in your body on a daily.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those things. But it's like, I don't know. With the pregnancy, I kind of just rather wait until after the baby's born, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, kind of take it slow. I mean, it's not a turtle race.
Yeah, turtle race.
Yeah, turtle race, rabbit race is not a race at all.
What?
You don't get it.
No, I don't. Sorry.
No, but
you gotta dumb it down for me.
Later, not right now, because we can get into a big loophole with this, and can we drift off? But anyways, besides COVID, why are you poking at it, bro?
Well, I don't know. There's something on here.
I know why you poking.
Because I'm trying to take it off.
But anyways, what I was trying to say is like, during this COVID thing, I know you posted an Instagram post like where I was quarantined when you still hadn't gotten it, and I think it was like Friday. And you said something about quarantine, or this is how we talk, or something like that.
Oh yeah, we were saying. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So
that's how we stay in touch.
Yeah, something like that. And I want to say thank you to all those people that reached out, and checked on me pretty much like daily. There was a few friends that hit me up and hey, like how you doing, and I would text them here left and right. I want to say thank you to all of them. I'm not gonna mention any names, but thank you for checking up on me. And then once you got it,
I don't know who checked up on you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you later. You already know what you're talking about.
Not everybody.
Well, I mean,
I know, but like one or two.
Yeah, it was a few. But yeah, so I mean, it felt nice, getting that those texts. Yeah, it felt good. I know some of them gave me good tips on what to do. I know one of them is kind of in the health industry, so they had a good knowledge on what I should be doing, and gave me some good tips. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. So that's why I started walking around, and that's why I started trying to. As soon as my fever and chills were gone, I got to start doing something. So yeah, so thank you for everybody that reached out. Appreciate it. When I was bored, texting back and forth helped kind of get me distracted.
Yeah, I had one of your friends actually ask me how you were doing, and I was like, unfortunately, you had come back positive, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna hit him up later. I was like, yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. He's just stuck in the room. Mm-hmm. But then at that point, I still hadn't gotten my results.
Yeah.
Once I did get my results, I went straight in there.
Yeah.
And we just watched movies and just hung out.
Yeah, it's funny with COVID. I got to see full seasons of The Office again, full season of Parks and Recreation.
Oh my god! You had it on repeat.
Yeah.
On YouTube, and it was clips, and I remember telling you, "Are you gonna watch a full episode, or are you just gonna sit here and watch clips all day?" Because I was getting a little annoyed, and I'm like, "It's repetitive."
Well, Friday and Saturday.
When I wasn't there,
I watched the whole season of Teen Wolf.
Oh my god!
The whole season of Parks and Recreation, and the full season of The Office. And then the rest I kind of skimmed through.
Full season?
Full season.
Uh-huh. All of the seasons?
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
Bro, it was 24 hours stuck in a room. Yeah.
You watched all of the seasons?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god, your eye just twitched.
Yeah, no, I did. But that's how bored, that's the only thing you can do, especially when you have chills and all. And then it also helped that, the season will play when I was napping, because I would take naps in between, remember? The chills forced me to go to sleep, and I took a nap, 2-3 hours naps, and they would just play continuously back and forth. Okay. So, technically, I didn't see the whole thing, but I finished from beginning to
yeah, you started from, okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but anyways, fast forward. I think the main purpose of this episode is to talk about what's going on recently, and I think...
I didn't want to just jump into it like that. I wanted to gradually go in there.
Oh no, I'm jumping in. I'm
You're
going
just
deep.
Pushing it.
Yeah, I'm deep in. No, it's just it's something that's been really really.
It's not been heavy.
No, but it's been on your mind.
Heavy. It's not been heavy on my mind. It just happened. Oh, well, you made it seem like it was.
Cause you didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever. Who were you saying?
No, I don't know. I still kind of wanted to talk about COVID.
Oh, what do you want to say? COVID?
Oh, I don't know. Not anymore. You kind of just pushed it into this all. And that's why you're so insensitive.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that with this whole another new situation, but this whole thing that just happened is you felt like I was very insensitive.
No, I didn't say that this time. I said that last time when my medication got adjusted and stuff. I said that last time.
Oh, no, you said I was emotionally unavailable.
Oh, I said that yesterday, yeah. But I didn't say it like I really meant it. Like, you're so emotionally unavailable. No, I said it kind of like you were being like, you were kind of joking with me. You were kind of like, you were a little detached. You were a little detached.
No,
and that's what I said. It's like, you're acting detached. I wasn't hurt by it. I wasn't bothered by it. I was like, I was just pointing something out. It's like, you're acting detached and you seem a little emotionally unavailable right now.
No, that's not how you said it.
That is how I said it.
No, you literally said, like, you're kinda. No, you did not say kinda. Like, I just want to say you're like really acting like you're not. No, you said. How did you say it? I just want to let you know that you're not being you're
being detached.
No, you did not even say it. Detached.
I did say that.
No, you didn't, bro.
God.
Maybe you thought about it. But
I know I said it.
Okay, well maybe you did, but I don't remember. But you did say though.
No te acuerdas a tu conveniencia.
No, because I remember like when you got maybe I ignored the other stuff, and as soon as you said something like, wait, what? And which was the part that you said like that I was, emotionally unavailable for you, but you didn't say kinda emotional.
Okay, well, but I didn't say it in a like mad way.
No, and I didn't take it in a bad way. I didn't take it in a bad
way. Okay, maybe I didn't say you seem kind of.
Yeah,
emotional.
you see.
No. I'm just trying to meet you there. Like, if that's what you think, then
no,
okay,
that's
I'll
not
meet
what I
you
think.
there.
That's what I know.
That's what you think. So if that's what you think, then I'm gonna give that to you. Okay, sure. Maybe.
No.
Maybe, hypothetically speaking, maybe I said, yeah, I just want to let you know. Don't look at me like that. I just want to let you know that you're being emotionally unavailable. Your eye is twitching.
I know. I feel it too. Like, yeah.
That's probably a lingering effect.
Yeah. Probably.
Of age.
Start twitching.
Yeah. So that's what I said to you.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, I didn't take it bad. I didn't feel like you were being aggressive. I didn't think you were being.
I can be, but I wasn't.
Yeah, no, but I know when you are. I know when you are, because when you are, you're like, it's like a short jab, a short punch, and then you walk away. You don't want to talk about it. But this was more like, like.
It's like I got a knife and
yeah, and this time it was more like, let me poke you with it, but not like penetrate you, like, oh, okay. No, because it did help, like, you know what? I was like, kind of like, you're right. Like, maybe that's not what you need. So let me, let me change my.
It's just like approach. It goes back to what we were talking about last time.
Yeah,
you're too optimistic sometimes, and the way that I am is I kind of want to sit and marinate in my feelings. I want to feel all of it. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm okay with feeling angry. I'm okay with feeling sad. I'm okay with feeling hopeless. I'm okay with feeling, some type of grief. Like, I want to feel those feelings because once I feel it, I'm going to put that shit to the side and I'm going to move on and not feel it again. Yeah.
No, and I get that part because when I'm doing, like, for example, when I'm grilling some ribs or some carne asada, you have to let it marinate. The more you let it marinate, the better it's going to taste, right? Yeah. So, something like that,
right. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. So I just... Now you're
sit
cooking.
In my feelings.
Now you're cooking, and now you're delicious. But yeah, no, I get it. You know, and like one of the things that I was telling you is like, I can't, I can't. In a sense, I can't show vulnerability or stress because in a sense, like me and you, like I need to be a little stronger than you. I need to be more optimistic than you because. If I was to go and be like, oh, yeah, what are we going to do? I'm just going to add more fear to you. I'm going to add more stress to you. I'm going to add a lot more issues than I could have avoided, and then you start freaking out. Then, it's true. Just, so in a sense, I need to have that optimistic view in things. And of course, I'm also smart about it. I'm not going to be like, Like, oh, my car has a flat tire. Oh no, it's okay. It'll inflate on its own. Like, no, I mean, I can't be dumb like that. Tampoco is, it's just more like I try to be logical. And if there's something there's something wrong. Like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna inflate on its own. I have to do something. Then I have to find a different way of approaching it. Like, how can I still be optimistic, but then be like, okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. And this.
Are getting stuck to the chair.
Yeah, you should have put on some pants or something. So yeah, in a sense, like I need to be a little stronger. I need to be the level-headed in a sense because.
No, I agree. I think I need that, but then I don't always know how to appreciate it.
Your heart says you need it, but then your mind says like, no, I need you to.
Like, let's both be a mess right now. Let's both be a hopeless mess. And, So things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't always like think of it that way. I don't always, I'm not always, I always jump to worst case scenario, and that's where my brain goes. And it can stay there for a long time. It's kind of, it can be pretty scary. But yesterday I kind of sat and marinated on my feelings. And I realized that things happen for a reason. Yeah. So I had our anatomy ultrasound. That's what it's called. I found out yesterday because I'm doing my research and everything. I had my anatomy ultrasound scheduled for Wednesday the 9th, which was my last day of isolation, which I couldn't make it to the appointment because I still had that day to stay in, and then I could get out the next day. Yeah.
So you couldn't go to it because you still were technically in quarantine.
Yeah.
So you had to reschedule.
So that's another story. It was a struggle to reach the department, and I ended up leaving a voicemail to cancel the appointment, and then I ended up rescheduling. So I had the appointment in Oakland. The reason why they sent me to Oakland, Kaiser, an office, the genetics office, was because I guess they have a more advanced kind of ultrasound there. I forgot what it's called. It's in the email they sent me, but I'm not going to look at it. And Richmond doesn't. So then when I ended up canceling what I thought I was canceling my appointment, I ended up calling Richmond and making an appointment there. So then I actually had rescheduled my appointment it was going to be today.
Yeah.
I worked today. I worked this morning. But I was going to have to ask to leave early or something, like work a half day or something to make it. Because I had to go. But then on the 9th, I guess the office in Oakland, they never got my message. I'm assuming I left it somewhere else. It's somewhere lost and someone else heard it. And they're like, who is this? I don't know. Who is this person? I don't see them on the thing. Whatever.
Like delete.
Right. So whatever. So basically on the 9th, I was going to be going to my appointment on my own because you were working that day.
Yeah. You
were scheduled to work. And I mean, maybe you could have switched it, but at that point, we had already gotten COVID. We were stuck at home. It's like, even if I would have been able to get out the house to go to the appointment, by that point, it would have been too late. That was like your first day back out, your second day back at work, I think. So whatever. Ended up rescheduling for Richmond. On the 9th, the office from Oakland calls me like, hey, just wondering, are you outside or something? Like, yeah. And I was like, no. And then I explained to them I had to cancel my appointment because I tested positive for COVID, and I couldn't. It's my last day today, and I can't leave the house. And they're like, oh, I wonder where that message went. But then they're like, we can go ahead and reschedule you. And I was like, you know what? Since they're going through the trouble of calling me, and they're telling me that their scan is more, because they gave me that information, like, oh, usually we get referrals from Richmond because of the kind of ultrasound that they have.
You can say there's like higher quality, maybe better product, maybe like
Better imaging or something.
yeah, like maybe a better ultrasound, machine.
Yeah,
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
But whatever. The point is they have a better imaging system or whatever. So I went ahead and scheduled it for Monday because I was looking at my schedule. I was like, yeah, let me check my schedule. I always do that. Check my schedule before I make an appointment. And then I didn't notice that you were off that day too. Yesterday, I didn't notice you were off. So I was gonna end up going by myself anyway. But it turns out you were off. So going back to like everything happens for a reason. If I would have gone on the 9th, if I would have been able to go on the 9th, I would have had to receive this news by myself. Mm-hmm. And then if I would have had to wait until today, I probably wouldn't have. I don't know if their imaging here in Richmond would have caught what the other ultrasound caught. And then, or I don't know if I would have been by myself,
Yeah, you would
Either way, I would have gone by myself and I would have had to receive this news on my own. And then I would have gotten out of there and driven off a ditch by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have, it's just, yeah. So,
yeah,
we got some news about the baby.
Yeah, so it's an update, and is that I think that's why you were saying is like, things happen for a reason. I was supposed to be off and I wasn't, since with the new appointment that I scheduled, I was able to be there. And kind of
you didn't even know that you could be there though, so you were in the car and I'm like, where the hell are you?
Yeah, he's like, hey, where you at? Like, I'm in the car. I'm like, aren't you coming? Like, wait, I can go? Because before, like, they were saying, oh, if you have an appointment, only you can go, no one else can go. So I missed a few ultrasounds, because of COVID, the initial ones.
Doctor's appointments. So.
Well, yeah, but it's still ultrasounds, ultrasounds,
true.
So, I was under the impression I couldn't go. So once he said, hey, yeah, I'm going, like, I grabbed my stuff, grabbed my mask, and I just ran, and I made it. Mm-hmm. But amongst those, the technician was kind of going through some images.
So we actually, during the anatomy scan, they check organs, they check the brain, they check the spine, they check the hands, the limbs and stuff, like fingers, toes, the legs, the arms, the heart. They check like everything, and I was like looking at the screen because like the technicians over here, and they have a screen up, kind of like that's showing everything to the parent, the person. We're looking at it. They're typing their little verbiage, which I don't understand a lot of it, but I can see some of it is like arms, and I can see some of it is like something left this, So I could see that, and then we also. Had decided, I don't know if we shared that before, but we've decided not to find out the sex of the baby. We wanted it to be a surprise. Yeah. So that was disclosed from the beginning. As soon as I walked in there, she asked about, finding out the sex. And I said, no, that we kind of wanted it to be a surprise. And then that's when I was waiting for you. We still wanted to see, we still wanted to see all of it and get little pictures and like, because they give you like the side picture and like you can see the head and like you can see the little nose and stuff and you can see everything. We just didn't want to know what the sex was. So you were saying something?
No, you were talking.
Oh,
you're good. Yeah.
So at one point, she did say she would tell us, she would let us know when she was around the area.
Yeah, around the pelvic or underneath the waist.
Yeah, underneath the waist where you could see what it is. And before you got there, I just kind of said, she's like, do you want me to just not tell you that I'm there? Or do you want me to tell you to like look away? And I was like, I'm kind of stupid. I can't even tell what's what. Mm-hmm. So just don't tell me you're there. Mm-hmm. I'll be fine. I can't see anything. I'm just looking at the shape of the head or whatever. And then when you got there, I'm like, oh, he's a little smarter, so he'll probably be able to tell. And I was like, you know what? Just when you're there, just kind of let us know, and we'll look away, or we'll close our eyes or whatever. So then she did let us know, and we were looking away, and it just felt like we were looking away for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's like we were looking away for. To me, I don't know if did you experience it the same way?
No. I just felt like, I mean,
It was a very long time.
in a sense, yeah. I just didn't feel like it was like horribly long. I just did think like, because she did mention like, oh, the baby's moving too much. Because during the, the ultrasound, we did notice like the baby was moving to like the hands a lot, and was moving a lot. So, she did mention like, oh, the baby's moving a lot. So I can't really get a good image.
I remember her talking about the spine too, that like she kept trying to get a view of the spine and the baby was not getting on his side or something like that. So then she made me go on my side at one point and she started like, looking for something. And then she asked me to come back. And then she was like shaking and stuff, like trying to get the baby to move so she could get a good view of the spine. And she just wasn't able to.
Yeah. So that's why I felt like it wasn't taking that long. I was just like, oh, maybe just the baby's moving too much. Can't really get a good image on what they're trying to look for. So in a sense, I didn't feel like it was a factor. I just think like.
I felt like it was an eternity. And there was something in me I had a feeling. I'm like. Because when she walked out of the room, at one point she said, I got all the images that I need to get. It just felt like it got extra quiet. Like we weren't talkative. We weren't talking. Like she was answering my questions. I was like kind of interacting with her, not crazy. But it just felt extra quiet. Like she got really like focused. That's what I felt like. And so then that's when she said she had gotten all the images that she needed. The only thing she was going to show the doctor the pictures of the spine that she had taken because she wasn't sure if those were good enough, like quality wise. So she was going to have the doctor come in and check herself. And I was like, you know what? Okay. She walked away and I turned to you and I was like, I think something's wrong. Like that. It's just, I can feel like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And we were in there by ourselves for a while.
That part I did feel like it did take a long time. And I'm guessing like they were going through the whole things and she started like explaining to her what she saw, she observed through the images. And they were kind of going back and forth, and sure, like they were trying to like the doctor was trying to get as much info as possible before she walked in. But yeah, that part I did feel like it was a little longer than than usual. I'm like, okay, it's taking a long time.
I think I told you I think something's wrong, and I was like, they're calling the doctor, and I know there's something wrong, and you're like, no, they did that with Adi too, and I was like, are you sure?
They did that with Adi, as in, like the doctor did go over and check the images,
but it was different.
It was different.
It felt different.
Yeah.
So then when the doctor came in, she was very kind.
Yeah,
she was very nice, and I could tell from the beginning. I felt like there was something on her chest that she needed to get off. But she was trying to go through the stuff too. So yeah, she started looking herself and she got your name just to kind of like refer to us by name. And then I think at this point, like I kind of blocked some of it. Like I kind of mentally just like, I don't know what happened. Do you remember?
Yeah, she was just kind of going through. She was kind of like getting her images, and she was, just moving around, And then
she kind of did say like, "I want to respect your wishes about not knowing the gender."
Yeah.
It's like, so I just need to check this area. I'm gonna be below the waist. So she was, that was that. I do remember that. And then I don't remember exactly how she broke the news to us.
So this is, I thought the whole time was like, okay, it's not what what it is. I mean, I'm sure it's just the baby's moving too much and they can't get good images and that's it, right? But she was kind of going through, and then she just says, the doctor's like, okay, Mario, Graciela. And I was like, oh shit.
This is serious.
Yeah, this is serious. Just the fact that it's kind of like, it's like, okay, so let me just go ahead.
Like, I've confirmed what I needed to confirm.
Let me just say it out there and let me put it out there. And that's when I like my heart dropped. Like, oh no, what's going on? And throughout the whole time I was like, it's maybe just normal procedure. The baby's moving too much.
Being way too optimistic.
Yeah, and as soon as she said that, because the way she said it, it was like, okay, and I felt like it was like, okay, no more bullshit. This is what's going on. And yeah, she's like, okay, Mario, Graciela. And then she stopped, she paused, and then she started talking. And she started explaining what was going on. And I was like, fuck. Like, okay, what does this mean? But she just kind of explained what was going on. And I was like, okay. Doesn't seem like it's a bad thing.
It is. Okay, so basically what she told us was that our baby has Clubfoot. Clubfoot.
Yeah, that one of both of the legs are starting to.
So it could be in our case, it's both, because I asked. I was like, so does this mean it's affecting both feet? Mm-hmm. She said yes. So basically, I have gone down a hole today, yesterday and today, like on my breaks and then coming home. I've just been on a hole looking for anything that I can find, any kind of research, anything, everything. Which I kind of think I'm overwhelming myself, like with information. I'm overloading myself with information, and it's way too soon because the baby's not even here yet. I'm gonna have to review this information once the baby is here so that I can retain. But basically, the condition that our baby has is called bilateral, meaning that it's both feet. Because there's something for another name for the single foot. But our baby, so the way she explained it, when I was laying down, I was like laying down, like, my feet out. Your feet are like this when you're laying down. Our baby's feet are inwards. So they're kind of like his or her toes, because we still didn't find out the sex, are facing each other. Like kind of like in, yeah.
Yeah, inward.
They're inward. They're kind of, yeah. So immediately, I felt like she gave us the information really quickly, the initial information, and it's just like I told you, it's like the power of your mind. It's like my mind was spiraling.
Yeah,
I was like, what did I do? What did I do wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. I know the way that she approached it, I like my heart sunk. I was like, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean for the baby? Initially, Clubfoot, I'm like, okay, well,
I think she asked us, like, do you have an idea of what it is?
Yeah.
And, I mean, without her having to give us too much information, in my mind, I could picture what. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, when she mentioned, like, oh, when she described what was going on, like, my head was like, okay, well, what does this mean? Like, does this mean that our baby is not going to be able to have a normal life? But my biggest concern was, like, what does this mean for the baby's health? That was the most important one for me, is like, like, yes, I do care that our baby has a normal life, because we want the baby to, like, grow up, doing whatever they want to do, riding a bike, running, sports, etc.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, our baby's going to be paralyzed. Our baby is not going to be able to kick the ball around for fun. Our baby is not going to be able to run. Our baby's not going to be able to walk. Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah, and these are the things that went through my mind in that like little 2-3 minutes,
those,
you know, and you know,
as she was talking, your mind is like racing.
yeah, yeah, and you know that was my main concern, you know, but as soon as she says, you know, like you know, this is you know, she, I think they do think that she went fast to try to describe what it was, but then she also went kind of by fast to try to describe that it's, you know, it's a procedure that is fixable. And then she's like, but we'll give you more details, you know, about what, you know, was the next steps.
Technically, the way that I have read it, it's classified as a birth defect.
Yeah.
But it is a correctable birth defect.
Yeah.
It's not like you can correct it from one day to the next, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's based on the research that I have done so far. It's a year. It's years of treatment.
Yeah, it's
4 to 5 year treatment.
Yeah. It's the correctional part. You know, it can be up to like maybe a few months, but then the maintaining like it's years.
It's kind of like because we both went on like a kind of a initial like search when we were in the office. Yeah. So after coming out of the room, so before we go there, she kind of like she wanted to show us what she was looking at. So she was saying when, and then again she was like trying to respect the fact that we didn't want to see anything and show us at the same time because this is below the waist, it's the legs, you know. And she was kind of like trying to show us, and then, oh, but I'm gonna respect your feeling, your wishes, so look away. And then I was like, I looked at you at one point, I was like, do you even mind? I was like, I just want to see. I'm like, at this point I was kind of like, I can overlook the fact that the stuff, like, you know, the private is there, and I might see something, but at this point I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know,
like, just show me what's going on.
I'm like, just show us. Yeah. I that's besides the point now. So then she just, I think she kind of really quickly wanted to like get there. I didn't see anything. Yeah. I still don't know what it is.
Well, I did see, I think the right leg was
I mean private. Oh, yeah, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
You know?
I didn't see anything. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Oh no, ahí déjalos. It's okay. She wants to take the dogs out. No.
She did. Oh, she's getting something.
Oh.
But, you know, one of the things that we were, lock it up for that. One of the things that we went through, well, kind of going before that, like, you know, she just kind of she kind of showed us the images, you know, and then she kind of described what was going on.
She used my feet because my feet, like I said, they were out like this. She kind of said, as a normal posture, kind of, I don't know what word she used, but the normal posture, I'm gonna use that, like my medical terms are. The normal posture is like you're like this. So then with the foot, you can see two bones here. She's like, and in the case of your ultrasound, because the foot is like this, it's like one of the bones is like, it's the other one's there. It's just being blocked by the one that's above it.
Yeah.
So it's like you could see. She's like, what I need to see is the two bones. That's how she kind of showed us, like the two bones that are like visible. But what I'm looking at is one bone because the other one's over here. It's down here. You know, she can see it. So I'm looking at a view of like your kind of like your feet being like that.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, I get it. I can see that. I can only see one bone. Yeah. And I think she was going to look at the other one. You want to lock it?
Nah, it's fine. Yeah.
She was going to look at the other one, and that's when, like, at that point, I was just kind of like, I get it. And then she kept asking, like, do you have an idea of what? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine what you're talking about. It's like, okay, it's like this.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean.
Yeah, so after that, she said, okay, well, I'll explain more about the process and what's next. we'll go to a different room and talk.
We
you know,
were
just
going to the consultation
yeah,
room.
the consultation room, and explain more about it. Right. So we got our stuff.
I don't know. She kept looking at my face, like
to
to
see.
see if I was okay, while she was explaining it. The room is so dark. I had tears coming down. It wasn't like, I don't think it was like super noticeable. I don't think you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed.
Oh.
Yeah, because I know you.
Dang, I thought I was being like.
No, I know you.
Anyway, I had a little bit of, but even during the process of the ultrasound, I had tears coming down just from just sitting there. Boredom, I guess, I don't know.
Boredom, sleeping.
Yeah. So then, I did have some tears, and maybe she did notice that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then she she kept looking at my face, and then she asked if I needed to use the restroom, and I kind of did, but at that point, I was just like, I just don't know. Like, I'll hold it. I don't care. And then they took us to a room. She said, I'll be right back. And then the ultrasound tech that had been helping us, she asked if I needed to use the restroom. I went to the restroom. While I was in the restroom, that's where I went and I started looking. I can hear them.
Yeah. Well, and we did end up going to the other room. When you went to the restroom, I pulled out my phone, started researching
I was doing the same thing. So that's why I was saying, like, it's funny because once we came back and, like, once we left the office, we were both like, okay, this is what I saw. Okay, you're kind of giving me the same kind of, like, this is what I saw. So, yeah, we both kind of, like, did our own little research before sitting down with the doctor and the doctor explaining it more to us. Yeah,
and basically what I got from it is, like, I read an article and they explained the process, what to expect, or what is pretty much what is the process with, treating clubfoot. And like right off the bat, I was like, oh, this is literally just like having braces. Yeah. So when you came, you talked to me, I told you, I explained it to you, like, it's pretty much like braces. You correct the issue, which is like, the feet, you have to like put them back in place, for a certain amount of time. The doctor little by little is going to like, shift them, each week.
Stretch them out.
Yeah. And realign them little by little every week, line them closer to like the way it's supposed to. And after a certain amount of time, the cast will come, because basically our baby's going to have a cast.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, of course, like basically this is like the norm, the process that it goes, depending on.
We'll see. Okay. Yes. This condition is kind of like braces. You have to initially kind of shift it into place, and then there's these things called boots and braces. So it's like so there's these specialty shoes, like these little boots, and then a brace that kind of, I mean, there's only so much movement that can happen that will have to be worn for years after.
I know, that's where I was getting to.
Oh, I'm sorry, but where I'm kind of confused is because upon my research, I also came across a podcast. I looked up, I'm like, there's podcasts about everything. I mean, there's podcasts about true crime. I mean, there has to be a podcast about Clubfoot, So I found one.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to it. It's a mom who is explaining her personal journey with her daughter being diagnosed with Clubfoot. And in one of the episodes, in one of the podcast episodes that she was talking about, she said something that stood out to me, which is why I'm like, I don't know the difference. This is where my ignorance comes in. I don't know a lot about it. So the method that you're explaining with the that you were gonna explain, it starts 2 to 3 weeks after birth. They cast the feet, like they put the feet in a cast, and every week after that, you go see the doctor, the specialist, and they redo the cast. So it's like every week the cast has to be redone, and that happens for the first 6 to 8 weeks of the treatment.
Yeah.
And then after that is when you graduate into the boots and braces.
Yep.
Boots and brace or whatever. And that's kind of what kind of carries on for years.
2, 3.
So what I've found today is for the first, I don't know how long, the baby has to wear it for 23 hours a day with getting 1 hour break. So you can break it down into 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there, or whatever. Or you can give him a whole free hour of no boot and brace. I don't know. Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves because the baby's not even here yet, and I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, well, that was kind of what I was saying. The cast will be like the braces. Once the braces is off, then we have to like maintain, through retainers, which is the boots, and that's pretty much what we have to do. Like, we kind of like have the baby.
Oh, but I didn't finish.
I mean, either, so you gotta let me finish. So. Yeah, it goes from the braces.
Because there's also surgical
procedure. It goes
procedure.
from the braces to the boots, and then of course there's like a little small surgical procedure that can be done at the clinic, right?
It's an injection. It's called surgery, but it's more of a procedure. It's an injection where they inject the back tendon, like of the foot, to kind of, I don't know, make it flexible or something.
Yeah, because, with walking, you need that flexibility. So without it... Because
I think what it is that the tendon is shorter than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's what is it? It's like tight.
Yeah. So since it's short, it's not very flexible, so it's tight where you can't really move it. So they need to inject...
whatever they inject,
so the baby can move around,
So that's the part where I'm confused, because this mom in this podcast,
that's what I'm saying.
She said that 80% of the babies born with clubfoot, that they need the surgery. So it's a matter of how severe it is, I'm assuming. So my confusion comes with, okay, if our baby falls under that 80%, will they still wear casting? Will they still wear the boot and brace?
Most likely, yes.
Okay.
Most likely.
See, that's where I'm like.
But that's what I was saying.
I don't know the difference.
And I think when you told me about the podcast, I started listening to it as well. And I liked a lot of things that she was saying, but I also, like, right off the bat, I knew, that it was on her experience. Based on her experience and her specific, specific experience with her daughter having clubfoot, she's gonna know so much, right? And then you have specialist doctors that have different types of knowledge, So our best thing to do is, as soon as we have the appointment with the podiatrist, which is like the doctor for the feet, and they're gonna explain it. We gotta
reach out to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to ask all those questions. We have to ask, all these type of questions so we can get it from a professional perspective, someone that's been dealing with this specific problem far longer than than anybody else, pretty much, right? And then once the baby is born, then that's when we'll have a broader picture on what's going to happen. Oh, are they going to have to wear the boots for this amount of time, or and it also is based on how how fast, technically you can say how fast the alignments are, And we'll see, like, we'll know. Like, I don't want you, like, going in through a rabbit hole también, where, you're seeing, like, the negative stuff. Like, oh, this is...
Well, I already did.
I know. And that's what I told you. Like, don't... Skip those.
So I also joined 3 Facebook groups. 3 support groups for Clubfoot. It's so easy. You just search that shit up, and then groups come up, and then it's real people putting pictures, images of their experiences, looking for support. I also on the app that I have for what to expect.
Yeah.
I also looked up the community. There's very little interaction there. From what my opinion, there's very little interaction about Clubfoot. But then I also ordered a book on Amazon, a parent's guide to Clubfoot.
Yeah.
I started looking at a lot of things, and then on Instagram, I actually started. That's the beauty of the internet. I looked up hashtags and I immediately looked up Clubfoot baby and then pictures of babies with Clubfoot and the announcement of their birth. And then you can go to a real person's page and kind of see, their journey. It's like that picture was posted months ago because this child is out of casting and into their in their boots and their brace now, and it's just like you can just see the kind of the progress that they've had to go through. So the casting is called shit. I've been hearing it all day and now I forgot it.
It's called shit. I've been listening to it.
No.
I forgot it.
It's called
It's some doctor's name, right?
Yeah.
Let me check it out. Dr. Chapatin.
No, something. The something.
The Ponseti method.
Yes, it's called the Ponseti method, and that's the
The same thing as Dr. Chapatin method. No, but yeah, so basically, this is one of the things that I was telling you, like when this whole thing happened, I researched and I looked through certain things. I told you, you know what, the baby is gonna have a normal life. Just have
and that's one of the things that the doctor said.
And once again, you interrupted me.
Well, yeah.
I know, it's fine. Yeah, but you're saying, that's one of the things that the doctor's saying.
Well, before we left the office, we did have a little consultation with her.
Yeah.
And she did tell us, she said, there are times where I see things on the ultrasound that I am concerned for the quality of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, and this is not one of those cases. Mm-hmm. She said, this is a one-off situation. She said, we had the option of consulting with a geneticist to see. She's like, sometimes you can't always tell everything through an ultrasound. And you can't always tell if there are underlying genetic problems or anything else that comes with it. But then she also pointed out how, because I did have a screening where they did a screening where I got blood drawn to I mean, again, they tell you all the time. I mean, it doesn't 100% tell you everything, but it kind of gives, like, I'm sure there's some type of research. It gives a broad idea of where you stand with like genetic problems or a healthy 100% kind of baby or whatever.
Yeah.
And mine was like
everything was good.
Yeah, so it was like less than 1%.
Yeah.
Of course, the clubfoot wasn't something that they could see through the genetic testing. But she did say, based on your genetic results for your testing, I think it was like at 16 weeks when I got that. I don't see anything else that might come up from it.
Yeah, because she mentioned, like, her organs, her or his organs, are fine. The heart was beating normally. The
brain
scan or ultrasound was
Oh,
fine.
and the reason why they were looking so hard at the spine was because she says sometimes the club foot is associated to a spinal issue or whatnot. Yeah. But she says she got a good look at the spine, and that's not the case. The spine is fine. It's just the feet.
Yeah. Yeah, and she basically did tell us, like, no, it's just the correction that we have to do, and, you know, the baby's going to have a normal life. You know, there's no health problems to be concerned about. Everything's fine. It's just a correction. And based on what I've been reading and I've been researching, that's what it is. You know, it's just, a correction that must be done. You know, it's going to be lengthy process, but at the end of the day, you know, it's nothing to to worry about. I think it's problem
not going to be easy.
It's not. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work, but I mean, we're so down for that. You know, I think Aiden, in a sense, wasn't easy. Adi was not easy, and then this other baby's not going to be easy. But at the end of the day, years later, you're going to be like, look back and like, hey, you know, that was nothing. You know, but one of the things that we do need, it is concerning, is if we don't take the process and, you know, take him weekly, him or her weekly.
You saw something, huh?
No, I didn't. It's just every time I say, like, you know, baby, I go to him or her. You know, it's just, if I stick with her, I'll say her. But anyways, if we don't try to get treated.
We also did research, and based on, you know, research, there is a 60%. If this condition or this defect affects 60% of boys and 40% of girls. So
it's a 60% chance that the baby's gonna be a boy,
and a 40% chance.
Yeah, but yet again, the lady you're listening to the podcast,
she had a
daughter. Yeah. So one of the only thing we need to be that we would be concerned about is if we don't go with the process, we don't go with the treatment, then eventually the baby, you know, when it grows, it's gonna have pain, and it's, you know, in the leg, you know, it's gonna be like a limp, you know, it's gonna be bad. But we're not going through that route. We're gonna go through the process. We're gonna try to, you know,
we're gonna try to correct it.
As possible. And I know me and you together can do it. You know, we have the support of your mom. You know, honestly, I do feel like
she's actually been really supportive.
Yeah, and
like I called her yesterday, and I kind of expected her to spiral, and she didn't. She was actually really supportive. Like she kept her emotions to herself and was kind of more catering to mine. Yeah. And then even today, she called me. I was at work. I didn't answer. But then I called her as soon as I got off of work, and we were talking about it. And one of the things that we were talking about is my family in Mexico, her sister. So one of the reasons this can happen is hereditary. Hereditary.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. So one of the reasons this may happen is because of that.
Yeah.
And it turns out that her sister was born with a clubfoot. Clubfoot. They call it clubfoot because it resembles a golf club.
Golf club.
Yeah.
Not a club sandwich, a golf club.
No, it was because of that one time I ate that club sandwich at Denny's.
I told you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I told you don't order that.
Anyway, so my aunt was born with a clubfoot.
Yeah.
And me and my mom were talking about that. I didn't know. What I remembered, like the first thing I thought about was my cousin, my aunt's son. I remember him as a little kid having to wear corrective like shoes, like specialty shoes, because his feet were not straight. And I was little too, so I was just like, am I remembering this correctly? Like this really happened the way that it did. So then I guess my aunt is also a nurse in Mexico. So my mom, I guess she called her today, and she said that she told her, I'm sad that she told her. She shared the news with her. She kind of told her, and my aunt told her. My aunt told my mom not to worry, that, we live in a country where they take this kind of thing serious, and there's a lot of resources for us to explore and a lot of options, and, we'll be fine. She said, with her, the reason why she has trouble with her feet or foot. I guess it was just one foot.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just one foot.
Yeah.
He explained it to me.
She has trouble with her foot because when, in Mexico, when she was born in the, what is it? She's in the 60s, 50s?
Probably 50s, 60s.
Yeah. It was, she got the boots and the stuff when they could afford it.
Yeah.
It's like, so it wasn't a continuous treatment that she received. It's like, maybe her foot's not as bad as it would have been if she wouldn't have gotten some of the treatment, but it's still not where it could have been if she would have gotten the full treatment. Yeah,
so she didn't get the full extent of the treatment. Yeah. She kind of got it half-assed to be.
Yeah.
No, not to be messed up, but yeah, half-assed. And, just times were harder, I'm sure. The economy is a lot different here than over there. There's a lot of money over here for research, so yeah, I do feel like, it's nothing too.
It's a different world, kind of. So, so it's hereditary. That's one of the reasons why it can happen. And then I read another reason. It would be if, like, you smoke or drink or drugs during pregnancy.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not happening. Yeah. And then I also read, like, another reason it could be environmental, which is none of my, it's out of my control. It's out of our control.
Yeah.
Either way, it's out of our control.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in a way, though, like, when we first were told, I got to a place where I was like, maybe I've lifted too many boxes. Mm-hmm. I work in my job. I have to, like, there's lifting involved. There's pushing and pulling and all that kind of stuff. It's physical. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have strained, maybe I strained myself too much. Mm-hmm. Maybe I bent over. Like, like I've seen La Rosa de Guadalupe, if you lift your hands over your shoulders, you can have a miscarriage, It's like, I mean, I'm sure there's many reasons why you can have a miscarriage. But, it's dramatized.
Yeah, it's very dramatized. And sorry to interrupt you, but when you went to the bathroom and I went to the room and I was waiting for you and the doctor.
No, you just interrupted me, though.
Yeah, but I said sorry. Unlike you just interrupted, you don't say nothing. So, yeah, I got manners, okay? So, one of the things that I wanted to research, first thing I researched was, what does this mean? Like, what's the procedure? What's the details on what's going on and what's going to happen? Once I got the full details on that, based on that little article, I went to see, like, the causes. There's one main reason I went for the causes. Because knowing you, you're going to be like, what did I do wrong? Was it my fault?
Oh, the first thing I thought.
Yeah, and I wanted to prepare myself to be like, no, don't think like that, because, I wanted to have facts. Because one of the things with you is, like, you in a stressful situation, you're going to want to find something you did wrong,
And I just want to blame something.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure that I was ready for that, and I have proof to a certain extent to be like, what, it's not your fault. This happened because it's hereditary, and or it's it's just a miss. It's a hit and miss type thing. So I mean, it was important to me to see what the cause is, and once I saw, like, oh yeah, there's nothing to do with you. The only thing that would have caused that is si estuvieras de borracha y drogadicta, but you're not. So I was like, nah, that's not it.
I mean, I've watched that show. I didn't know I was pregnant, and those women like would drink and smoke and all that, and their kids came out fine. Yep. So I don't know what that research is looking into, but okay, I'm gonna respect it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's only a cause. It's not 100% guaranteed. Like, oh, if you smoke or you drink, no. It's just it can contribute to it. So it's not a 100% thing. But yeah,
But yeah, my mind did go there, and I was like, maybe I feel like I'm not at 5 months. I feel like I'm not showing how you would see a pregnant woman. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, maybe I'm doing something wrong with the way that I'm eating, and I'm not giving the baby enough room. Maybe it was just too crowded in there, and I had no other choice but to bend his feet, and then I spiraled.
Yeah, and I did tell you that, like, if we're talking about space, the only thing that might be an issue is if the baby is not surrounded by enough amniotic fluids. And I told you, but that's one of the things that the doctor or the ultrasound technician would have noticed early on, like, hey, you're not getting enough, amniotic fluids in there. It would have been a concern, but that was not it. So, when we left the place and we were going to Oakland, I was kind of describing to you, like, this is what would mean. This is the causes. This is what I've read so far.
And that's when I told you were being emotionally unavailable.
You said that when we were home already.
No, we were in the car when I said it.
Was it after Farolito? Oh my God,
here we go again.
No, was it after Farolito?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But I know we were not home when I said it, because I think at that point I was already kind of like in my own zone, looking up things. And I even showed you, like, I looked up on Etsy, and there's some things on Etsy that like kind of like embraces it.
Yeah, like little designs,
Yeah, like you get like little covers for the bars to customize it. You can get a little shirt that says like something about it.
A lot of those were cute too. Like, are you showing me like, like, okay, like something about behind bars or something like that?
Oh yeah, there was a shirt that said a life behind bars, or something like that, representing the
bars from that was cute.
Yeah, it's clever stuff. And I started looking at it like in that way, where it's like, people embrace it, and they they take the positive out of it. And in a way, I thought I'm like, well, maybe back to things happening for a reason. Maybe, we've kind of started this little journey, and I'm like, maybe this is just something we're supposed to shed light on.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm like, maybe this is, I don't know, we were chosen. I don't know.
Yeah. Among that research that you were doing, there's a Clubfoot National Day, right?
There's a worldwide day or something.
Yeah. So it's
Clubfoot.
Like little things.
There's actually a ribbon that represents like the awareness kind of. It's a blue and pink ribbon, represents it represents other things, among Clubfoot being one of them. And I'm just like, I didn't know this. So like, maybe this is a platform for us. This is something for us to shed some light on, something that, I feel like I've seen it before, just never really experienced it. And I'm like, maybe this is just something that was meant to happen to us.
Yeah. And it's funny, not funny, but that was actually my next thing that I wanted to mention at least, was that, we're definitely going to be doing podcasts, for a while. I don't know for how long, but, plan is to do it for a good amount of time, and just like you found a podcast about Clubfoot, this can go on, and, it can not resonate with somebody else down the future. It can be in 6 months, it can be in 9 months, it can be in a year or two, and I think just sharing our experience, and how it goes, the process, I think it would be very educational and we shed some light, because it might be we have a listener there. They're like, oh, they hear Clubfoot for the first time through us, and then they have something, surrounding
have a
around
child that
or a friend has
future or something,
or a friend has, or it can be like a neighbor. It could be whatever. Like, it could be like anything around that inner circle. They're like, hey, this is what I've heard. This is what they've mentioned. And we're going to try to be as factual as possible, of course. What are
well, we're not experts.
Yeah,
just like when it comes to relationships, we're not experts. It's just we just do what works for us.
You say that, but I am. I don't know about you, but I am. I just got to keep it real, baby. But yeah, so
we're not experts.
Yeah.
We just know what works for us in our relationship. And same thing with this situation. It's like we're not experts. We just, we're into researching and knowing the stuff that, come our way. And this is just something that we're going to take day by day and, continue to learn from. It's still early. The baby won't be here for another 19 weeks. 19, 18 weeks, something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of lost now. 18 weeks, 18 more weeks for the baby. We have time to prepare ourselves. The doctor said I would be reached out to by a podiatrist. She spoke really well about this person. Like, it made me feel really comfortable. She said the office is in Oakland, wherever this podiatrist is. We have another appointment on August 5th to, look at the anatomy again. And, I don't know, I guess just get confirmation that this is really happening.
Yeah.
But now I'm prepared, I'm prepared emotionally to take that news. And I mean, we're just gonna wait for our baby with open arms, no matter what.
Yeah, of course. And I also do want to mention that the ultrasound technician was pretty nice. She was pleasant. She wasn't like dull or boring or mean. The doctor was real nice. I really did, and I did appreciate the doctor, because the way she approached it, I sensed that when she was trying to break the news, she was trying to be like sensitive to what we were experiencing. And then like the whole process, like she was explaining what was going to happen, and what she was suggesting to do, like with a podiatrist, and then kind of just giving us a step-by-step process, like on what it might entitle. I appreciated it, because you get those bad experiences sometimes with doctors where, like, because I've gotten some, a bad experience with some doctors, both Aiden and Nadi, and then myself. We're like, God damn, like, you could have made this a lot easier than what it was. If we would have gotten a bad doctor or a bad day, it could have been a lot worse for us. He could have been freaking out. I could have been freaking out, so.
We could have both driven off freaking ditch.
Yeah,
just ended it all.
So, I just want to just shout out to that doctor, because I liked her. She was real nice. She was chill. Mm-hmm. But, so that was our experience, and this just happened yesterday. And luckily for me, I was off and I was able to be there with you, to show you, give you support, to annoy you and then get you mad to an extent, and then kind of get, some.
I think it was until later, like when we were home, that you kind of got it. I always kind of have to snap you into.
That's what I was saying when you mentioned that, like, oh, I wasn't emotionally available to you. I took that in like, in a positive way. I'm like, maybe I gotta stop being so optimistic, and so it worked, because I didn't take it bad. I didn't. I took it more like, okay, maybe I'm being too optimistic. Let me try to like tone it down a little bit and listen to you. And I did, and that was my point. And I'm learning, like once you said that, I'm like, okay, let me try to twist things around. Because you kind of wanted to fight it. You're like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Like you said something, it's hella funny. Like, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna bend in or something like that. You said like
bend in.
Like kind of like, just try to look at it positive. Like, no, you need to talk about it. So that's you were kind of trying to fight it at first, But I didn't go that route. But yeah.
So I was trying to just see it your way.
And just shut down, and pretend like, there was nothing bothering you, or just kind of be like, whatever. But yeah, no, we talked about it, and I did think like, okay, well, maybe I gotta approach it differently. But yeah, so that was our experience. And,
with COVID.
Then
with
Clubfoot.
this diagnosis. And yeah.
Yeah, but things, like you said, things happen for a reason. We got COVID, so that kind of pushed our appointment to another 2 weeks, and it just happened.
Couple days.
Right, couple days, and then that just allowed me to be there with you. And that was actually the first time I saw the baby through an ultrasound. So when
it was moving a lot. Huh?
Oh my God, yeah, it was just messing with his hands, her hands.
Yeah, when it was like kind of.
I saw he saw C and then moved it back, and like, oh, that's kind of made me, it felt nice. And that was the first time I seen like live ultrasound, because before then it was just pictures. But yeah, it was meant to be. And now I feel the same way. Like as soon as we left that the clinic, I felt very positive, and
I mean, I did too. I have my moments where I feel hopeless. I feel hopeful. I feel sad. I feel happy. I just have a lot of emotions. I carry a lot of emotions.
Yeah, I know. That's the way you are. I felt
every single thing. Like I cried already. I'm better. Like I'm just kind of sitting there, and then I'll start crying again. I was really trying not to cry here.
Kind of almost did.
I kind of almost did. I was really trying not to, and I'm really proud of myself for not crying. But it's just like I go back and forth between like feeling really hopeful and feeling really defeated.
I know.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll be fine. We're gonna take the extra measures and extra steps, and it'll be right. No problem. Nothing we can't handle. Mm-hmm. Together forever, baby. All right. So this is another episode. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I think this is definitely a good way of kind of getting things out. And we wanted to share some news too. It's nothing bad. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.